Shion, are you ready? I thought Shion was on the call. Okay, what about you? Ogunlaya, are you ready? Olaoluwa, you are muted. Are you ready?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Have you submitted the link to your public artifact?
Yes, I've submitted my link to the. Yes, I've submitted it. I can't remember the name of this the email, but I submitted it to email.
Okay, you can proceed then.
Okay. Coming.
I'm very sorry, but please our video is actually off. Please, can we turn on our cameras, please? Amen, Patrick, Binga, Sophiat, David, Samuel, Ladipo, Samadala, Joseph Ebola, Eton, Victor, Mohammed, Nurudin, Sunday. Your cameras are off. Please kindly turn them on. Thank you. You can begin.
Hi, good morning. So my name is Olaoluwa Ugaleye. We're talking about using Agile methodology to foster team effectiveness, and it's a short presentation. If you have questions afterwards, just let me know. Okay, so we're talking about what is Agile methodology, Agile manifesto, the important 4 values. What is a team, and applying Agile principles to teams in order to foster effectiveness. So what is Agile methodology? The Agile methodology is a way to manage a project by breaking it up into several phases. It involves constant collaboration with stakeholders and continuous improvement at every stage. Once the work begins, teams cycle through the process of planning, executing, and evaluating. So I'm sure that Agile methodology is not it's not the first time we're hearing that, and a lot of IT firm, and not even IT firm alone, have been they've been using, and much more are using Agile methodology right now. However, there are reasons why you should use Agile methodology, and the number one and important, very important reason is for us to be able to satisfy our customer. So when you're satisfying your customer, there is no way you're not going to have to change scope. And okay, going back to project management, so you might have heard of traditional project management, which they call waterfall project management. And then, please, Michael, please, when it's 5 minutes to my time, please let me know, sir. Thank you. So you might have heard of waterfall methodology and then Agile methodology. So in waterfall methodology, more like you're constructing a building, the owner tells you this is what I want to do, and then you reach out to your team, the architect, the structural engineer, and so on like that. You have the plan and they give you go ahead and you build, and then you tell the person that owns the house this is what you asked us to do. But in that case, we can't do, even though in a way we've been applying Agile methodology sometimes to our waterfall methodology. You might not just know, because sometimes for me, I was a graphic designer. So when I'm working with a client that I don't know, first time, I just tell the person, I don't need to waste my time. You can do a nice DP for a client, and then he or she tells you that the DP is not fine. And you tell another person, give it to another person, and the person will be like, this DP is fine, man. This is awesome. So, but to her, it's not awesome. I mean, that's not the type of DP that you want. So, what do you need to do? You need to know, okay, what exactly do you want me to do? And people like that, even when I've done just 50%, I try to ask them, okay, what do you want to change in this area, why? Because I want to satisfy them. So as a result of that, there's something we call scope creep, yes. So it's scope creep in project management. This is when the scope is being changed. Things that were not supposed to be added or that was not part of the scope was added. So that is something that we allow in Agile methodology because we want to satisfy our customers. So there are processes involved, and this is the process you are seeing on the screen. We plan first, collect requirements, a lot of things that we do under planning, and then we design. When we design, and of course, I mentioned tech company, and the reason why you're seeing a lot of design, develop, test here is because they mainly use Agile methodology for software companies, for tech companies, and you go from planning to design to develop to test to release, and importantly, you get feedback, and that cycle goes again, and that is the reason why part of the model, a model in Agile methodology, which is Scrum, you see that they do sprints, every 2 week sprints. They do the planning of the sprints, go through the sprint, they do sprint retrospective to know what has happened throughout the sprint and so on like that. And then they continue another one, add another backlog for another sprint. So you understand? So that is just basically important things that you need to know about Agile methodology. And we have 4 important manifesto, which I call core values for Agile methodology. Every other, we have 12 principles, okay? But all those 12 principles are wrapped up together to give us this particular for Agile manifesto. So we say individuals and interactions over process and tools. Please note this, that everything you're seeing at the right? So individual interaction over process and tools. Process and tools is at the right, and then individual interaction is at the left. So Agile Manifesto says that while we consider the things at the right, we consider the things at the left more. Okay, so this time around we are considering the things at the left, and please note, we did not say that we are leaving the things at the right. We said that while we consider the things at the right, we consider the things at the left more. So individuals and interaction over process and tools. Okay, so working software over comprehensive documentation. So instead of you having so much documentation, we have working software, and a lot of those softwares can actually recover your files. Some of them can store a lot of stuff. So instead of you doing that, why don't you use the working software? Okay, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So we are not about the money, we are more about satisfying our customers. So we want to collaborate with them. Okay, responding to change over following the plan. So following the plan is more like you working in a traditional way. We know what you're supposed to do, the initiation, the planning, the execution, and the closing of the project. And throughout that first phases, you have your monitoring and control. So when you're taking it that way without going back to the customer or knowing if you have to change anything, you're following the plan instead of you responding to change. So if you're not going back to the customer, there won't be anything for change at first. So you're only responding to a change made by the customer. So there has to be customer collaboration for you to get any change. Okay. So these are the type of Agile process models, but because of time, we won't be able to talk about this. So we have extreme programming, we have adaptive software development, dynamic system development method, Scrum, Crystal, features-driven development, and Agile modeling. So you can go and check more on that. All right, so what is a team? A team is a group of individuals working together to achieve their goal. Okay, the topic of this presentation is using Agile methodology to foster team effectiveness, right? So we're talking about team here, and I know that not all of us we are all into one project or the other. In fact, right now that you enter into this day and that you're going to work from 9 to 5 or 5:30, it's a project, and then you need to plan it. You wake up in the morning, you be like, okay, what am I going to do today? And then later on, you strategize, then you execute, and then at the end of the day, you have a stand up again. They ask you, what did you do? You are closing. It's not like you're closing the day. So if you look at the things you do in your life normally, if you see them as a project, trust me, you will organize them more and achieve more. You get more results. You actually see them that way. Okay, so and why did I say that? I said that because most of the time when we talk about agile methodology or talk about any project methodology, we're always thinking about project. There's this massive project, there's this these things, I mean, this product we want to design or this project we want to do, and that's the only thing to think about. But if you look at the things in your life, there's some certain events that you can prepare before that time. If you see them as a project, you achieve more. So we've been a team, even in post service, in DevOps, whatever team you are, there are things that you guys do together for a particular time. We are achieving a result, we are achieving a goal for a particular time. Okay, so you can call that a project. So a team is a group of individuals working together to achieve a particular goal. So far there's a particular goal and there's a time, it's a project. So you're working, and sometimes, you know, when we talk about project, let's assume that we have a product we want to design. We talk about your team. Then a lot of times we talk about the DevOps and okay, the tech team itself, the business and marketing team, and then they talk about which team again, any other team that is involved in the project. But the truth is, if you look at, you know, that we can have group of teams achieving a goal. So we can have the tech team, we can have the business and marketing team, we can have the stakeholders as part of the team, everybody coming together, maybe one person representing each team, each group, and then forming a team now, generally, to know where we are going. Okay, so you can see team in different lights, you can see projects in different lights, and that will help you a lot. Okay, so now applying, I've explained what team, I've explained project management a bit, a team, and then agile methodology. Now applying the team, I looked at the agile manifesto, and I was able to pick one or two things to and I looked at it, and then I put it down in a way that I think is going to help us in our team. Let me put it that way. So I said that applying agile principle. So I looked at the part that says that responding to change and then customer collaboration. So in our team, look at it this way, that literally we are not satisfying the company. Let's assume that because your customer is part of your stakeholder. That's a long thing to discuss anyways. The stakeholder is anyone that has impact in the project or interest in the project that you're doing. Okay, so let's assume that you're in a project, you're in a team in the company. Okay, so and you're rendering services for the company. The company is your customer, and then you are the group of the people, right? You guys are the group of people that are trying to do the work. So you're really not getting any results, and if you're not getting any results, the company is going to tell you, please, we are not seeing what you guys are doing. Okay, so what are they trying to tell you? They're giving you feedback system, and look at it in that agile methodology. When you're responding to your customer, you're doing something and then they are not seeing it, or you're showing them and they say that this is not what they want. Okay, what if we do it this way? What if we do it this way? So sometimes you might see that Mr. Bade or your head of the team or your mentor, they're saying that, oh, what if you put it this way? They are sitting down in that position of the customer to let you know that this is what we think is good, this is what they think is not good. Okay, so that's like a feedback system to you, and you as a teammate, you're responding to the change. And I know it can be very tasking responding to change, because and that's why agile methodology has actually helped us. You're not supposed to do something for a long time and now come back and they now say that this is not what they want. They're supposed to be able to do and then show your team head, what do you think about this? Oh, go on, nice, you're doing well, and then you continue. So it's not like when they tell you, oh, probably, oh, I think we should change this. So you're responding to change, and it can be very difficult after you've done your work, like using waterfall methodology, and then you have to start all over again. And also on the team lead part or anybody supervising the work, it can be difficult having to receive mail from a team member. Oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Because it can be stressful for them, believing that the team member is going to know what to do already. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So but team leaders, we have to, understanding agile principle, we have to go to the process of supervising, helping the team to achieve the result that they need to achieve. So that's it about feedback system and responding to change. So I also looked at what's it called, individuals and interaction, and I realized that through agile methodology we can actually have process review. Okay, so Agile helps you to check your processes. So if you think that these things, what we're doing, like I talked about sprint, and then after the sprint, we have retrospective. That's, I'm using Scrum now, Scrum models, for example. So we feel like, oh, this is what we do well, this is what we do not do well. And then the next sprint, we know what we're supposed to add and what we're not supposed to add, how we should coordinate ourselves and how we should organize ourselves. That's the thing about process reviewing. And if you're always looking at it that way, using the agile methodology, you're going to get better results. Okay, so agile methodology using individuals and interaction also help our creativity and idea generation. So we are supposed to sit down and think, let's interact. Remember, it says that individuals and interaction over process and tools, right? So we're supposed to sit down and interact and generate ideas. It can help creativity in your team. Okay, so it's not like we just, even though we've done project like this before, or we've not done a project like this before, we're supposed to, okay, this is what we have, this is what we want to do this week, this is what we want to do this month. We're supposed to sit down and let's look at, okay, what can we generate, what can we get using different idea generation techniques, brainstorming, mind mapping, and so on like that. And talking about process, going back to process review, one other thing I also realized is that companies actually do this once in a while, maybe 6 months or quarterly, depending on their own, what's the word I'm going to use, on their own maybe schedule.
Obulege,
Yes?
I'm sorry for stopping you, but the time is up because we have another presenter.
See, I said 5 minutes. You know, mind me. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to be, I'm just give me like a minute. So
Okay.
self-organizing, yes, they're supposed to be self-organizing and cross-function functioning team. So which means that when a team member is having issue, you can help the team member. Okay, it does not have to be the team leader will come into it. You as a team, you should be able to help your team member when you have the solution to the problem. And lastly, yes, using softwares instead of what? Please, let's go back to that software instead of, yes, comprehensive documentation. So if we have softwares that can do work for us, why are we documenting? So it's better that we use softwares that can help our work easier and then staying up to date. What does that mean? Since you're using software and you know that with tech, we are always supposed to stay up to date. It means that you need to stay up to date with tech. And that's why you need to join our Beacon blog, check it, and then you know what is going on with the tools that you're using. You know, some people actually give nice ideas and give you updates on the things that you use and you don't know anything about. So you're supposed to apply that update to your softwares so as to make life easy for yourself. All right, so I've used up my time. Thank you so much for allowing me to present.
Yeah, thank you so much, Odule. Nice presentation. Because of our time, we'll be taking questions after the other section, after the other presenter finishes. So right now, Sean, we can come on board. Why Olaoluwa? You can stop sharing your screen. So Sean can share. Thank you very much, Olaoluwa.
Wow.
Let's keep our questions to the end of the section when Sean wants to finish presenting.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see you. I can also hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hadiza, and though some people call me Oluwaseun. So I'm here to present caching. I'll be explaining what caching is and how it works. So here's an analogy. So let's say you're a librarian and your job basically is to respond to students whenever they come to the library to request for books that they need, maybe to do their assignments or like make research. So your job is just to respond to them and provide them with the book. The library is a big space, and the process of looking for the book, taking it down to the students, and also returning the book back to its rightful place can be exhausting and tiring and also time consuming. So, but you notice that there are some frequently requested books that these students request for. So you decided to bring those books down to your desks and put it in a shelf for easy access. So whenever the students come and request for these books, you have easy access to it, and you can serve them in no time. So this is similar to what happened in the web space. So very similar to what happens in the web space. Frequently requested data has increased, and the standard data stores they are slow and they can't keep up to these requests. So we have to find a way to deliver, to save data with minimal delay. And we as humans, we have little patience. We don't have patience. As we request, we want our request to be served to us like ASAP without delays. So how are we going to deliver this frequently requested data? How are we going to deliver this frequently requested data with minimal delay? That is where caching comes in. Fast data retrieval is a necessity. It is not an option. It is something that is very necessary. So that is where caching comes in. So caching data is a process that stores multiple copies of data or files in a temporary storage location or cache, as they can be, so they can be easily accessed later. So when we talk about caching, it is just storing of copies of data for future use, so they can be accessed easily. So whenever these data are requested for in future, they can be saved. They can be saved quickly. So caching is using the computer's main memory to efficiently manage frequently used data. And in this case, in the library case, we have the bookshelf, the fast retrieval bookshelf, where you keep the frequently requested books. So in this, in the case of caching, what is this fast retrieval bookshelf? The fast retrieval bookshelf in caching is known as the cache layer. The cache layer is simply a storage location where data can be saved quickly. So a cache is a high-speed data storage layer which stores a subset of data temporarily. So this data is retrieved faster when requested for in future. So when these data are stored temporarily, copies of this data are stored temporarily for easy access in future. And this isn't possible. You can't access this data easily and fast when you access the primary storage location of these data. So caching allows you to efficiently reuse previously retrieved or computed data. In the diagram on the screen, we have two instances there. We have one instance without cache and the second with cache. As we can see, in the first instance, all of the requests were made directly to the primary storage location, and that can result in that can affect the user experience, and also that can result in high latency. The second instance, we can see that with cache, the first request was made directly to the primary data, the primary storage location, and the subsequent requests, request 2 and request 3, were made to the cache, layer. So that is going to make the data easily saved and also saved quickly. And this can result in a better user experience. So a cache primary purpose is to increase data retrieval performance by reducing the need to access the underlying slower storage layer. Caching layer is used to store data so they can be saved quickly. Data is growing complex and standard databases are slow. They can no longer keep up with these requests. Web applications have to do with millions of users. Data inputs have increased exponentially. Delays cannot be tolerated. So all these are reasons why we need caching, why caching has to be implemented. So one common way to implement caching is using the in-memory data stores. The in-memory data store simply refers to the RAM.
Well, disrupting your presentation. Your slides are not showing. We are still on the first slide. Are you aware?
Oh my God. I'm not aware. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
I think you shared just a part. Try sharing again. I don't know. But I know you've actually moved on at your end. No, your slide is showing, but you are still on the first page. I don't know if it makes sense.
I don't know what I don't know what's wrong.
Okay,
I'm actually showing the I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
Let's see.
I'm lost, honestly. I don't know what to do. What do you think I can do?
It's a simple something. Just unshare your screen, then
Okay.
go back and share the entire screen again. That's all.
The problem is I'm not seeing the option to share my entire screen. I'm just seeing the option to share like my Chrome, my Slack, my just the Windows. I'm not seeing the option to share all of my screen.
Are you using Google Doc for your presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, you can share from Google Chrome. Share the entire Chrome.
That was
Share
what I
your
did
Chrome.
earlier.
Yeah, you didn't do it. You navigated. That was why. At a point you navigated. Can you go back again? Sorry. We are enjoying your catching memory. So, okay. Yeah, it's coming up now.
Correct. The correct
Okay,
screen.
is it moving?
Move, let me see.
Okay, I just moved like 2 slides.
We are currently
we got RAM. We're currently seeing just RAM.
It's still the same thing. It's not moving. I don't know why.
All right. I think might be. Are you presenting on Google Doc?
Yes, I am.
You can actually press the preview option or possibly reload it.
That
If you
reload option, yeah.
Yeah, the reload option should work as well.
Okay.
Or the preview or the share option.
Or the share option, you can share it.
Yeah.
Almost definitely you can share it to either I think the host, so they can actually in a way launch the slideshow for you from their end, and you just have to present. All right.
Can you share your entire screen? Okay. Now,
let's
move your slide. Let's see.
Okay. How about now?
No. Use your mouse. Use your hand to move. Let's see.
Okay.
Like from your click on next from your distance.
Or you click your 4 strokes up, down. I think the right one should work.
Yeah, that's one of the keys should move for
should
you.
work, yeah.
How about now?
Still not moving.
I don't know.
You know
I
what?
had the same issue while I was recording my public artifact.
Just okay. I think it's just because of our time, so we don't. Yeah, just continue.
I think the best thing is you should be given another day. Show
Yep.
You
You
should be
prefer
given
that?
another time, but then share your screen with me later. I think we did this before with, I can't remember. Is the yeah, I think it's Olivia or Lovett. I don't know. It's a minor thing from your system. So maybe you should be given another time. Let's see before then
Okay.
we check.
All right.
Do you prefer that?
Yes, I'll prefer that. There is no use presenting when my slide is not.
That's just the truth.
No problem.
But we were enjoying the presentation now.
Get out.
Even me, I was enjoying it. Even me, I was enjoying it.
You're on live.
It's really
You're on
nice.
live.
Oh,
You're on
wait,
live.
can
You're on
someone
live.
please, can someone
We
share
are
the
on
screen
live.
for her?
It's
We are on
nice.
live.
The
Let's-
live
we
has
asking
to be
questions?
cancelled because this is not a
let's
presentation.
ask-
We have less than 5 minutes or about
Can
5
someone
minutes.
share the screen
So
for
they,
her?
take questions. Ogunleye, you can come back on board. Sure, I will
7
pick it
minutes.
maybe tomorrow. Also.
8 minutes for questions. Oh.
Okay. Any question?
I think I have a question.
I have a question. Okay.
Anybody asking
Okay.
question, please turn on
Nah,
your
this
camera.
one wants to eat me today.
Turn on
Ogunleye,
your.
your camera is not on.
Hey, my background is not quite convenient for now.
Me to see
right.
me, sir.
All right. Okay, so I think the question actually is directed towards the third manifesto of Agile Methodology, where he talked about customer collaboration is more ideal than contract negotiation. All right. So my key question is, in a way, let's say, for instance, if you're working in, because I think organization differs based on the levels of abstractions and hierarchies. So if you're working in an organization that readily does not have, let's say, instant feedback from customer in the development process, because I think each phases or each product development phase will require different customer involvement. Now, if you're in such situation, all right, how then will you be able to get due feedback from these categories of customers, and how well would you trust customers' feedback over, let's say, previous data evaluation? Because, well, data and customer feedback go hand in hand together. All right. So how do you do such stuff? And you talk about contract negotiation. Now, of course, money is important. All right, it drives the process, but what then happens if, this is the second question, what then happens if, let's say, the set contract, all right, and if there's a conflict of interest between the individuals who are building the prototype or the design and what the customers themselves want? How do you minimize levels of conflict of interest in development process? I could give a scenario just in case.
Okay. Were you were there also for the presentation, right?
Yes, sir.
So you get the part I was saying that I tried to
I'm very
design
sorry.
for someone.
Ogunleye, please, can you kindly turn on your camera, please? I'm very sorry.
Lights went off here, so you're going to be seeing my, should I say my face alone?
No issue, sir. No issue, sir.
Okay, give me a minute. Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
All right, so
Oh yeah.
So I was saying that I tried to do a design for someone, and then the client, there's this client that do not like the design, but I know that design is fine, and I show people, and they said the design is fine. So your second question, I think like we said, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So you're not the one that is going to pay yourself. It's a customer that is going to pay you. So
Yeah.
And I know that there are times that I don't want to do something that is not good, because eventually it's something that people are going to see and they'll be like, who did this design for you? You understand? So, or did you do this product for you? So for me, at that point, I just do not collect the job. I do not take the job, or I just try to talk, because it's customer collaboration, try to talk to the customer. I think this is what is good. Give him enough evidence, and if it's not, or if she does not want it, then I just remove my hand. So that's for the second one. For the first one, you said yes, if there's no feedback system, so what are you going to do? It's not possible. I don't think, especially when it comes to products, I don't think you're going to build any product without the customer checking it. Is even if you're not using sprints at all. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There's no way you can
I do.
build a product without letting the customer know that this is what is happening. So it might be, of course, you have the client's number or the customer number, or there's a way, of course, there will be a communication plan already. So you can use your communication plan along that line. There may not be, you might not call it feedback system in that sense, but with your communication plan, you can say that, oh, this is what we've been able to do. Oh, this is okay for you. Probably the plan was to even probably talk about even money, or we want to do this, we want to do that. But along the line, you can let Anne or him know that this is what we're doing, and then or this is what we have at this point. Is it okay? And then she's going to give you, or he's going to give you his feedback.
Okay. Yeah, you actually got the question to an extent. The reason why I think the first question, when I said why getting customer feedback. Now in a scenario, that's why I wanted to give a case scenario. All right.
Okay.
So in a scenario where you are creating a product that has not entered into a defined market space. All right. Most definitely, even the possible end users are unaware of what you're creating. They're unaware of the benefits, unaware of the features. All right. So in such case scenario, what exactly drives your development process? All right. I could give you, for instance, when I think that was Steve Jobs, when he started the Apple initiative and the rest. All right. They didn't necessarily build for the customer at first. All right. So they were just trying to solve a specific problem that believe a large amount of persons would actually have similar interest. Okay. So they identified a certain problem out of inquisition, out of curiosity. Okay. But not necessarily anybody might want it. So that was why I asked the first question. But
answered the question already.
How? Tell me.
Well, yeah, asking question that you know the answer to. Let's go.
No, you're like, there's an initiative. So there's a problem already. They saw a problem and they are trying to what's it called? Because the truth is, I can't tell you this is what I want, or this is what this app should look like, when I'm not the one seeing the problem. And the only reason why I'm giving you the product to build for me is because I need a particular product. So nobody even needs this one at all. So nobody even knows. So even if I give you the lesser version of the product
of it,
do you understand what I'm saying? You just take it that way.
I get.
Until I build a better version before you realize that, oh, what I gave you was not even,
something
does not fit in. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You compare them. Yeah. I think in comparison, then you get to know what. Okay, then a little bit emphasis. I just want to ask, all right? Okay. You mentioned the second statement where you said, okay, I think we're almost done. But let me just summarize it. What if in a case scenario where you're working in an organization where you, the product developer, right, you don't necessarily interact with the customer in real time? How do you work on that? Because in a way, you give an emphasis on you trying to build, right, from maybe a one-on-one personal connection with the customer. But in a case scenario where you don't actually have that privilege, all right, or that channel of communication with the customer, how do you work on your stuff to ensure that you're building the right thing?
I believe
with an organization.
You're working with an organization or working in an organization.
Working in. That's
okay. So I believe we should have people like a product design, product owner or Scrum Master. If they're not using Scrum, exactly. But then there'll be okay.
We're done. Thumbs up the slide.
Out of time.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you, sir. I'm grateful.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Joseph here. So to quickly speak to what Elijah asked, so what if you don't have access directly to the customer? So in product development, there is always a process. And number one, you need to research. You gather, you go to market, user research, and there's a proper documentation. So before you start building a product, there's a documentation you follow. What does the customer need? What are we doing? So basically, I think that answers the question. not to overflog
Thank
it.
you.
So, Olaoluwa,
Thanks, sir.
yeah, you're welcome. To my question, right? This is an interesting topic, and you said
KD,
using,
we cannot take your question.
We're done. They already done, right? I can see the time. I was just wondering. I mean, I was just wondering at the time as well. But it's all good.
all right. Okay. So you
Yeah.
to foster team effectiveness, right? And you went ahead to define a team as a group of individuals working to achieve a particular goal. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is interesting to me, and I kind of feel like there's much ado about the Agile methodology. Like people tend to rate it ahead of every other kind of framework, like the waterfall and stuff. But you know, I see what concerns me is you know, how can Agile methodology solve the problem of, number one, differences in working style among team members? That is one. Number two, time zone difference. Number three, cultural misfits. And number four, language constraints. Right? See, so what I'm asking,
do not reply. Do not reply. Please,
Come on.
Those are some valid
Oh
questions.
God,
now.
oh God.
We're ending the section now.
Can we answer the question first in KG tomorrow?
sorry?
Yeah,
Can we
better.
answer it in KG tomorrow, like first thing tomorrow?
Yeah, you can do that actually.
Please send your question here, so maybe on the KD channel, so I can review and have more answers for you. Thank you.
Okay, you're beautiful. That's fine, right? But we need to try that out as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank everyone for joining. Yeah, I'll be section now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.